So, gosh, I suddenly end up with a huge audience. That's brilliant. Welcome, welcome. Thanks so much. So I'm just going to give a really short intro to me and what I do. And then we're going to do some listening and sounding together, because I just thought it'd be so nice to do that. So I work as a vocalist and a walking sound artist. I do vocal improvisation, sound installations, radio art, concerts, and I facilitate sound walks with people. I worked and studied with Pauline Oliveros, and I now teach her practice of deep listening. You all know who she is, so I don't need to explain that, I think. But one of the things she said is listen to everything, be inclusive, and remind yourself when you're not listening. And I think that's a great basis for the work. So I'm interested in working with people and their connections with place, particularly with familiar places and home, and how this relates to memory and personal history. I combine these ideas of place with listening and my form of expression, which is voice, and walking, which I do almost every day. So my first efforts in this were done in 2002, and I called them vocal strolls. And they occurred when I lived in London, and they were mainly me wandering in the city while listening to the environment and responding with improvised voice. Walking is an embodied act, as is singing. Singing with what I hear helps me listen more closely and be more open. Singing with, for example, a construction site helps me hear its various tones and timbres and rhythms clearly as I respond with my own voice. Or my response might be based more on a feeling of comfort or discomfort there. Singing in a wide open space is obviously different, and a relaxed body makes different sounds from one that is tense. Fast or slow walking changes the amount of breath available for sounding. Our very presence in an environment affects the sounds there. And in a way, vocal strolls clarify my interaction with the soundscape. And although this is a very old project, I've actually recently revived it. I'm calling it Sound Walkscapes to differ, just to make it obvious that it's not about me in London anymore. So on the first Monday of every month in 2023, wherever I find myself, I take a walk, I sing and I record it. My other long-term project, just to go through this really quickly, is called Shadow Walks, and it's been going for 20 years. I go to a place, I ask local people to take me on a walk that has some significance for them, one that's been repeated many times. We walk together, I record our conversations, the sounds of the environment, and then I go back alone, trying to get the memory and the sense of my previous companions' traces on the walk, and I sing my response. And these have occurred in Asia, Europe, Australia, and the Americas. So that's a little bit about me and my approach to listening and sounding within environments as a way of connecting with and considering our place in them. But now over to you, because I'd like to look at this score that I think you've probably all got, or you've got access to. If you really can't see one, it's actually on the app anyway. But I'll just talk through it for mainly for people on Zoom who sadly haven't got access to the score. But it's good, thank you. Oh, great. So I hope people on Zoom will also join in from wherever they are, wherever you are. Okay, so it's in 5 sections. The first one is simply to listen to the sounds around you and be aware of your breathing while you do it. Then begin to sound very quiet, long tones on your breath, quieter than the sounds around, just audible to you, and you can use any pitch. 2, continue this. Now let your sounds be just audible to the people either side of you. 3, continue, imagining your tones moving outwards to be just audible to everyone in the space. 4, let your long tones flow outside to the land. Really imagine them going. Imagine exactly where they're going, along these wooden footpaths, through the grounds, through the trees, and right as far as the water, perhaps. Send out your sounds to meet the sounds that you can imagine or remember that are already there. Now, imagine your sounds, this is in 5, by the way. Now, imagine your sounds blending with the soundscape and responding to it. Then you're no longer limited to long tones. Let your voices be free to use any sounds that feel appropriate. And before we begin, I'd just like to quote something that Pauline used to say, which was, you're not trying to sing. Don't try and place your voice in any particular way. Just let it do what it wants to do. So I think because we haven't got much time, although I would love this just to be organic, moving through the different sections, I think I will actually signal them because it's going to be a bit easier so that we move as a group through the sections. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm actually... Sorry? I'll tell you... Oh, okay. I think just see what's happening. Yeah, sorry. I think it might spoil it if I say the words, and I don't want to be mic'd, because otherwise I'll be louder than you all. So, in order to, so the people on Zoom can appreciate this, I'm going to tip this, horrible noise coming. No, that was quite good, yeah, okay, towards you. Okay, it's a bit droopy, but... Okay, and maybe you could switch mine off. I did. So let's just start by sitting comfortably, feeling your weight in the seat. And let's take one deep breath before we begin. That was beautiful.